You've probably seen us all over the racing world and doing a lot of racing designs for events and race teams, but we also do a lot of stuff from small boutiques in small cities all the way up to Fortune 500 companies. Your brand deserves to be seen. We print on more than just shirts, hats, jackets, bags, and much, much more. Custom corporate branding starts here.
Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition back on the air of the show that started it all. This is indeed the Revved Sports Show, 10 years strong. Showtime Bobby Chappie right here. The Iceman Rodney Rodriguez, that is the man on the right side. Back from a duel in the desert, or desert duel, I can't remember, or desert double, I think is what they were calling it here in Phoenix.
You know, it was actually quadruple is what that was, because you had the ARCA as well that was running, and that was really weird, because that was supposed to be like a Friday event, and then they moved it to Thursday. So it, a lot of wind, IndyCar with the appearance there with the O'Reilly series. I kind of like that concept, man. We can talk about that a little bit later on, but I kind of like those double dues like that. Who wins, who loses. I mean, that's the whole battle. I don't know why it has to go down with that. I mean, I just think that it's good for racing when you combine the two, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think it worked out. Damn, my computer died. I think it actually worked out ratings wise, and we'll get more into it later. But I think ratings wise, Fox is definitely happy.
Well, and that's what it all comes down to. That's what people don't really realize anymore, that Fox owns part of the IndyCar series now.
Right at 1/3, yeah.
Yeah. So they're going to try to piggyback off of, you could talk about 2.8 million people being down from whatever, but 2.8 million people watching anything is a lot. I mean, you can't
anything that's not NFL or college football.
Right. That's
those two don't count though. If you throw those out,
yeah.
We've talked about it before on the show. You throw the NFL out, you throw college football out. It actually not even all of college football, the marquee college football matchups. Because NASCAR runs right average on your weekend sports with your average college football game. Now, not your marquee games with your blue bloods versus your blue bloods, but they run pretty much average with and usually beat more of the mainstream college football.
Yeah, it's not fair to put anything against the NFL except about what's to happen next week. The Big 12 tournament's on. Have you seen the floors in the Big 12 tournament?
Yeah, that whole digital board. I wonder how that's working. I mean,
all
glass.
That
is what it's just a gigantic stage from WrestleMania. That's where they got the idea from.
I like it, man. Looks pretty good. Looks a little different, but March Madness, NFL. I mean, those are the things. And a typical NFL game. I mean, you can have the two shittiest teams in the league, and they're going to draw 9 million people. I mean, that's just the nature of the beast right there. But I think that numbers are good. I mean, the O'Reilly series with the CW, that's they really need to bring that CW booth and just let them call everything. I mean, you can complain about Jamie Little and all the different people or whatever, but that CW booth is just by far better than anybody that's calling these races right now.
Yeah, and you can tell by the excitement. They call races like we watch races. They hoop and they holler and they get excited, and it's okay. There's nothing wrong with the way Mike Joy does it, but when Adam Alexander comes up a couple of tunes, couple of octaves on the voice when somebody's getting hit or somebody's spinning out, that's a good thing in my opinion.
And then the other part about it too, when people want to complain about Jamie Little, I mean, she's got people talking over her the whole time, and there's nothing worse than that when you're a play-by-play person and the color guy is screaming and yelling and all that, and that takes away from some of that. That hurts. But if she's not saying anything, of course somebody needs to say something. So, but we can get into that discussion. But man, we are ramping it up over here right now with the time change, and that means it's time to go racing, and there's a lot of it going on that's happening this week. I mean, and on the show, Brian Benedict's going to join us. You've got a legacy double header that's happening at Pensacola and at Mobile. We'll talk to him. He's on the road. He's going to join us, I think, from his trailer. And then we are later going to have a preview of this week being the season opener for Heart of Texas at Waco, as they were weathered out or water trucked out. Not sure exactly what it was, but good lineup of guests. And then we'll talk more short track racing and talk about more of this national stuff as we go diving in. Weather a little chilly, man. I tell you, I got back and it was hot as shit where I was. And I got back, and this morning it was actually cold. I had to get up this morning and go get tires for my truck, and it was cold this morning. I like it. We need some cold.
Yeah, it didn't really get cold all winter. I think it was 42 on the back porch here.
Nice.
And so I opened up the windows yesterday. Was gonna do it today. There's just too much of a chill in the air to go ahead and open up today. So we just kind of stayed locked down up in my front office this morning or all day working with the doggy. So
Yeah, so that's I reposted on Facebook that whole thing from last year where we were talking about the time change and so forth, and I got to tell you, it really got me this year, Bobby, because I was I didn't realize, I didn't put it all together there in Arizona. I said something to somebody, and I said, "Oh shit, we got to spring forward," and they were, "We don't do that here." And I was like, "Oh, that's right." So that was great because I was, I think, a couple of hours behind with everything that was going on over there. But as I'm coming back, I get to New Mexico and I hit mountain time. And this happened on the way up there too, but it was just different coming back. Time had changed. So I hit mountain time. And then about 7 miles from where I was going to stop on Monday night, we go to Central Time. So it was like in the span of 5 or 6 hours, whatever it was that I drove. It's like I went through 3 time zones.
Yeah, lost like 3 hours.
Yeah, man. And I get back over here, and I'm just beat up, tired anyway. And man, I am just not getting this right now. Like, to me right now, I'm just all out of sync. I mean, my whole days have been thrown off with the time change. It's just leave it alone. Just leave it alone.
No, that's what they've been trying to do for years, but you know how the government rolls. Takes an act of Congress, and Congress can't agree on the color of the sky here lately. So
they are not going to figure anything out right now. And it's whatever. And then I will tell our friends locally, if you're checking in, I also didn't realize South by Southwest is here.
Starts on Tuesday, I think.
I think all the interactive stuff is like already going. So it's like, geez Louise. So there's a lot that's going on right now in our burg up here. If you're catching this, of course, the chats are live and open, and you can be a part of those at any time. So feel free to jump in there. Let us know what's going on in your parts of the woods right now as we get into March Madness.
Spring break coming up for a lot of places.
Oh, that's right. It is spring break. I actually have a few days off. After this whirlwind of NASCAR stuff. They're like, take a couple days and decompress, take some time off. So that's what I'm going to be doing here.
Like I said, let's go to the Rattler.
Go to the Rattler. Yeah, that's going to be a good one. Good one is coming up this weekend. And I should say a good 2 of them that are coming up this weekend because, as we mentioned, Five Flags Speedway, Mobile International Speedway, and it is our Legacy Series on the road. It is our man Brian Benedict joining us. Brian, what are you guys calling the series now? Because it can't be anything Texas, because hell, you ain't in Texas right now.
That's right. So the series is actually called the Simpson Performance Restoration Legacy Series. And it's a regional series across Texas, Alabama, and Florida.
Got it. I like it. That makes a hell of a lot more sense. So let's talk about this for you. I mean, we obviously see you right there in the trailer, loaded up and ready to go. Man, you got a good setup there, dude. That looks like a damn NASCAR studio or something you got behind you.
This is the home away from home, so I spend a lot of time in here. I make it pretty cozy. But yeah, the series has been growing just a ton. It's gotten so much support in the last couple of years. We have 6 different tracks that we're going to be racing at this year. About 15 or 16 races across 11 weekends. So a lot of double headers like this weekend where we can line up 5 flags in a Mobile or a Sunny South or even a Montgomery Speedway. So that's just a ton of fun, and being on the road like this and still be able to race at Houston Motorsports Park, which is close for a lot of us, is just fantastic.
Yes, sir.
So, Brian, how well are the tracks working together in this deal? Is it one of those where they approached y'all? Because I know that Mobile, when Gina took over down there, they brought the legacy cars over, and they ended up being an instantaneous hit down there on that big half mile. And then obviously they're a showcase class in Houston with the number of cars they bring and the action that they bring. So was it a kind of a thing that y'all went to the tracks and said we wanted more dates, or did the tracks come and say, how do we get more you guys around us?
It was, a bit of a combination of both. It was the product of some really good, tight racing, which, fans love to see. And track promoter wants more of that So, and us, letting them know, working with the different promoters. Eddie Shoemaker has been huge for growing this series. Tim Bryant has supported this series. We tried 5 flags out last year, and now this year we have 5 races there. So that's fantastic growth, and it just seems to be catching on everywhere. We could try out tracks this year in Sunny South and Freedom.
And Brian, for you guys, that has to be something where you guys have to be really happy, because obviously with Mobile and 5 Flags, especially 5 Flags, I mean, those are names that are, you look at the short track roadmap, and I mean, those are historic tracks. I mean, the fact that you guys, and now the Freedom Factory with the influx and momentum the fact that you guys, a traveling group out of Texas, that you're getting to run at those venues, that's got to be pretty damn satisfying for you guys.
These are like bucket list tracks for us. That's how this started out, and it's really caught on. So for them to ask us, can you come back for some more races, keep doing this, and grow is a big and series,
So Brian, what's the game plan for you? I know from I heard through the grapevine that some of the races correspond and may be scheduled over some of the other ones, potentially here in the Lone Star State, the local ones for for lack of a better way to describe a majority of you Texas guys. I mean, do you have to pick and choose, or you staying at home? Are you going to follow the series? What's the deal on that? Or are the tracks trying to work together to make sure that you guys can be off for a certain race?
Yeah. A lot of the tracks are communicating together and trying to prevent that, from happening. That's a really delicate dance to try to dance, and sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. But the series offers a couple of drops for the competitors. But at the end of the day, we all want a really high car count at all these venues, and give these promoters and fans a good show.
Yeah. And the other thing, I think also, Brian, that's really impressive is that you mentioned there about Tim Bryant and Mr. Eddie. And like Bobby said, it is predominantly a Texas group because that's where the class is really strong. But you do have drivers, because I know even my time at Mobile, when the class came in, I mean, you had cars there. It looks like there's more and more drivers there along the Southeast that are migrating over to these legacy cars and wanting to be a part of this, it looks like.
There's been an influx of cars that have been acquired from all over the United States that have made their way to the Alabama and Florida area. People are really interested in these cars. They want to take part in it and get in them and race them. And the car counts are going to show. I mean, there's 30 to 40 in the near future, possibly up 50 different cars that could take the track at any of these races. Yeah,
love it.
It's grown.
So Brian, before we get too far down the rabbit hole, for those that may be newer viewers, obviously me, you, and Rodney know exactly what a legacy car is. Go over what the legacy cars are, just kind of the Cliff Notes version for those that may be listening or watching for the first time.
Sure. Simply put, these cars were a scaled down version of what a 1990s Winston Cup car was. These cars were manufactured by Donnie Allison's 3 sons to mimic what a 90s Winston Cup car was. They're powered by a Mazda B22 engine and transmission, and they have a quick change rear end. So they're light, 1,700 pounds. So they're fast. They're actually designed to run on half miles. So it really gives you that authentic kind of NASCAR feeling when you're in one.
Brian, I think what differentiates you guys having so full disclosure, I was actually supposed to be there with you guys, but I had some work stuff that popped up last minute. Well, I know, dude. I was like totally fired up and ready to go and ready to be embarrassed, but soon this will happen. Soon this will happen.
Right.
But I think what you guys do so well is like with the, let's say, Allison legacy. I mean, it was kind of, and having talked to Mike in depth, it's like with the Legends, where you had to buy everything from US Legends and you had to do everything that way, where you guys, it's more of kind of like we were with DCRST back in the day, to where doesn't matter where you get your parts. Doesn't matter how you get something on the car. You're not going to a dealer. I think that's what's really cool about you guys. It's while it's very legacy, it's not quite that much to where you got to go to the manufacturer or whoever it may be.
Yeah, there's there's a lot of these cars around, which is pretty amazing. I myself didn't even know how much these cars were prevalent. The parts are still available, and again, like the power plant being a Mazda B2200, parts are pretty readily available for them. It's a pretty standard package, and it's cost efficient too. It's probably one of the most cost efficient ways you can get on a racetrack that I know of, and that's a lot too.
Absolutely.
So, Brian, Rodney doesn't know this, but I know this because you messaged me. Talk about this interactive kids thing you got coming up that you're going to be handing out over the course of the 2026 season.
Yeah, it's something we're pretty excited about. We put together a coloring book that we'll hand out at the races. It's something for the kids. It's something that actually my team, Mishtex Motorsports, tried a few years ago. And I was having parents hunting me down in the pits saying, "Hey, do you got any more of those coloring books?" Because it's the only thing that keeps them occupied, during delays or intermissions. So we kind of leveraged that. We brought it back. We brought back the coloring book, and there's actually a picture of Bobby in it. And on the back side of it, we'll have all of our supporting series sponsors as a way to get their information out and into the hands of all the fans too. So it's kind of a dual purpose tool that everybody just really seemed to like and love.
That's awesome, man. I got to tell you, with a lot of the events that I activate at, my company has coloring books, and it's like, man, and there's like adults, Brian, that are like, I want one of these for me. I've got a 25-year-old daughter that when she comes here, she sits downstairs and colors. So that's awesome, dude. And Bobby, we got to have a color Bobby contest.
You know what? I think you're onto something.
There's plenty of me to color in that picture too. I told him to get knocked down about 30 pounds, and he didn't know how to do that. So,
no, sorry, Brian. So you go ahead, Bobby. Let me quiet that dog down.
Everybody's got the dogs fired up tonight at the studios. So, in terms of the overall scope, we've talked about how much the interest is and all of that. Tech-wise, competition-wise, do you guys are going to run your own tech? Do you have like a set group of guys that are coming in or individuals coming in to help tech? Are y'all self-teching? I mean, how's that setup going to be?
Would be, if we could take some of that off of the tracks, because they are such a kind of a niche division in car. The series it's not there yet where we can have one person that's can travel around with the series that can just attend all these races and put them up for double headers just to do tech. So that's also where we need to work with the tracks and leverage their facilities and their tech personnel. We do have a really robust rule book, so we'll work with their tech personnel, especially if it's one of these tracks where we're brand new to them. And so it's a great education opportunity to let them know, these are some of the things that could be looked at, should be looked at. Here's our rule book. Here's what we mean by it. We've gone to some tracks and they said, we don't have scales to fit your car. So there's other things we can do to keep everybody, on the up and up and, keep the racing tight.
DCRST one year, I was an officer, and I didn't know when I got nominated for an officer. It was like part of that was being a tech man also. So it's like the first race out when I'm an officer, they're like, okay, it's your night to tech. I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, we're just doing visuals today. I checked only safety. I'm like, yeah, it's got a seat. The belts are good. Yeah, everybody's good. Everybody's good. Brian, talk about, with the series, what I love about y'all's series is, well, the cars and you guys, but let's talk about the drivers in there, because you've got veterans like yourself. You've got youngsters that are extremely competitive. You got just a great mix right there. Talk about what people should expect in 2026, I guess it is, with what I think is a pretty damn loaded roster of drivers that you guys are rolling out.
Yeah, there's a ton of talent. in this series. We've got, all the names that you're familiar with coming back. Carson Green did phenomenal last year. It's really fast. Riley Allen picked up a win at Houston Motorsports Park. All those things were just great to see. Justin Reeves came in and got a win at Pensacola, and they're all coming back, but we're growing too. So there's a lot of newcomers, and one of the great things about this series is, people help each other out. There's a lot of information sharing. This division was initially designed to be a teaching division. This is where somebody comes in, and it's cost efficient, but they get their foot in the door, and this is meant to teach them the concepts about racing and weight distribution and things like that, so they can move up into a pro truck or a pro mod.
Yeah, I know from experience with those cars, announcing those, and Rodney will probably agree with me on this, is that sometimes when you have the smaller scale cars, whether it's a dwarf car or a legacy car, Legends cars, sometimes on that same kind of plane there, is that people sometimes will it's not a full-size car, it's not going to race good and all that. But the legacies, for damn sure, they showed that they're race cars in a hurry, because even though they're light and they're tiny, they're pretty sturdy. You guys can beat and bang, and y'all crash and boom just like the big cars. So I think that is one way where the fans kind of make they realize real quick, even though they're tiny, these things are full-blown race cars.
Yeah, it takes a special touch to drive a short wheelbase car. And I raced with DCRST. I raced dwarf cars. I raced legacies. I grew up in karting when I was a kid, and it really takes a special finesse to be able to drive something with such a short wheelbase. And the idea is, it's tough, and you learn that feeling. So when you move up into something that's a bit more stuck to the track, you can start to develop some other talents too. But it gets you over that hump of, this is what it feels like when the rear end starts to step out on you.
Yeah. How great is it? You mentioned the quick change earlier. How nice is a quick change where you won't have to do it this weekend, but man, that's got to make it nice when you start talking about all the tracks that you're talking about, man. It's pretty damn easy to get those gears into that car.
Yeah, it's a nice to have for sure. It's this is the only form of racing that I've been able to have a quick change on, and it sure does make life a lot easier. I'll tell you.
Well, Brian, best of luck, dude. We know that you got things to do, people to see, checkers to chase, if you will. So best of luck. Let us know how it goes. Let me know when I need to start signing the coloring books, and then we'll check in from time to time to see how the series is going. And as soon as the schedule makes itself work out right, I'll probably come see you in person in Houston.
All right. That sounds great. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate your time.
You bet, man. Looking forward to a good weekend. The gear bag is packed. I'll see you on the track soon, my man.
All right.
Take care, buddy. You bet. There he goes, Brian Benedict. They get set to go over at Five Flags Speedway and Mobile International Speedway. There's all the details right there on top. Friday night, it will be at Pensacola. And then Saturday night with Eddie Shoemaker and Mobile International Speedway. Now, that's how you start a season.
Well, they got a lot going on. They got a lot going on at Five Flags.
Yeah.
And I think that Eddie did the right thing, because they ended up moving, instead of going head-to-head on Saturday night with the ASA Stars Tour, they moved the start of the Stars Tour race up to the afternoon. I think it starts at 1, 2 o'clock, something like that, Central Time there in Pensacola.
Yep.
And then Eddie and the gang there at Mobile, if you bring in your stub, I can't remember if it's full price or half price admission if you bring in your Pensacola ticket stub. So that's, they're working together the best they can. As we know from being down here within the, the vicinity of 4 tracks, it is hard to not schedule on top of each other on occasion, but it's good to see the tracks, in that region working together.
Yeah, I think, and that Sunshine State 200, I mean, that's a loaded entry list on that one. And that being an afternoon race, I think really is going to be something special. And that's, those tracks really are in close enough proximity to where you can. I mean, if you have an afternoon thing, you can zip right on over, and that's a full day of racing right there on just two great racetracks. I mean, they're both half miles, but they have different tendencies. They race different, and that's it's killing me that I'm not going to be there. I've got a little trip tomorrow that I need to take care of. That kind of threw a cog in that wheel, but man, that's going to be a full weekend. And I think the Legacies, because it is. I mean, having talked to Mike Knotts in depth, they're going to be loaded this year, man. And I had no idea there were as many as Brian was talking about. That's crazy. That's crazy.
I think Mobile just posted a thing, said there's more legacy cars in the building. So I don't know who bought them or.
But you know what?
Something like that. They're there.
That makes sense, because if you think about the Legacies, because it really is kind of like what the Legends are doing right now, to where they went away. It's like these classes, they hit rock bottom. Remember, the Legacies were really big here at one point, and then boom, they're gone.
Everybody aged out or priced out or moved out, and there wasn't a. And then you didn't have any tracks, so there really wasn't a track for them.
Right. And now here they come again, and they come back stronger than ever. And that's what that's the great thing about here in Texas with when it comes to asphalt, there's not a lot that we can hang our hat on when it comes to, we do this really well, because the lack of the asphalt tracks. But you look at the Legends and you look at the Legacies, what they've done in the last couple of years, and these people call them the little car classes. I call them little cars with big balls, but man, they have just done a tremendous job of bringing those back to life. And I mean, they're massive. They're huge. They're bigger than the states that have all the late models and whatever when it comes to.
Yeah, I mean, an average night of legacy cars there at Houston Motorsports Park was what, 18 to 22?
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, it's and you when you really look at them too, because you look at Georgia and you look at some of these other states. I mean, Nashville is a great example. When you talk about the fairgrounds and you talk about some of these racetracks, I mean, the Legends and the Bandoleros and Legends and Bandoleros, those are really the ones like at the fairgrounds that they just blow that place up. There are just so many of them, but it's a great class. It's like he said, entry level, but I think at the same time, because you look at the guys like Brian, like Mike Knotts, like some of these dudes, to where these are guys that just want to get in a race car, go fast, and have fun, and that's what that division affords you to do.
Yeah, it does. I mean, the Legends cars are big in the areas that have the Legends programs that run at the SMI tracks on the quarter mile on the front stretch.
Yep.
That's where the areas are big. Obviously, when you go to Charlotte, you got Millbridge, you got Charlotte, the Bojangles shootout, the summer shootout there at Charlotte. I mean, it has its own television production crew over there. So it does a lot. It does a lot to make sure that they that they're accounted for and well taken care of. The legacy cars are getting there. I mean, they're not going to have their own TV package, but you'll find ways to consume those races. So they'll have a lot of opportunity. They got a lot of opportunities. I talked to Riley Allen at COTA about it, and she's really pumped up about it. Was disappointed that some of the races kind of correspond and go over on top of Houston and stuff like that, because she's committed to the truck. But she's excited about the opportunity to spread those wings and fly to some of these different racetracks.
It's a really cool thing for them to get to do that, and that division to me is like he was talking about, a scaled down, the Cup car that we all thrive to have back is what that car reminds you of. And I mean, you have to use your imagination a little bit. I mean, I see a lot of people that say, oh, we want that car from, back from the 90s, and hell, they weren't even born back then, but they're talking about the glory days or whatever. But the car is extremely attractive. I can tell you one thing. I think tomorrow in Pensacola, they're having a fan generated best looking car contest, I think, is happening. The car I was going to drive is going to win. I hope I hope that car makes the trip, because that car will win. I promise you that car will win. But it's a good looking vehicle. And like he said, with the half miles, they get out there and they just let it hang out. They just let it go. It gets around there really, really quick. And like he was talking about, the tendencies of a short wheelbase car like that, it's totally different. It's totally different from a big old boxy car.
Yeah, no, then with the quick change and stuff like that, they are racing machines. Don't let the size of them fool you. They were ready to go. So,
and there it is right there. That 16 car was the one that I was going to be in. I don't know who's going to be in it, but man,
does Mike have a picture of that thing?
I'll send you one.
Oh, okay.
I'll send you one. It's damn good looking. It is damn good looking. Pensacola on Friday night, and then Mobile on Saturday for the Legacy Series as they get set to go. But meanwhile, back here home on Friday night, tomorrow night, under the Friday night lights, it's time to get back to the action right down I-35. It is the go-to racetrack for a lot of people in the state of Texas. For over 50 years, it's Heart of Texas Speedway that has been the benchmark racetrack. David Good joins us as it's a week late, but it's opening night getting started. Had some weather issues last week. How we doing, David?
Oh, we're doing
good deal.
Can't wait.
How's everything going for you guys? I know it's been weather. It's been just a plethora of shit that has been at you guys. How's it going for y'all? Looking forward to tomorrow.
Well, it's looking good. I mean, we've had a lot of storms this week. I mean, tomorrow is going to be an all-day event for me. You know, I'll have to go in the morning and dry it up and iron it in.
There you go.
But I don't think we'll have a problem getting there.
Nice.
So what is this 58 years now? They're Heart Attack 57, 58. I lost count after all these years.
60.
Wow.
This is the 60th year.
Wow.
Of consecutive
And then
racing. They hadn't taken a year off in all 60 years, right?
That's correct.
That's a long time.
Yeah, it's the longest running racetrack in the
Damn. That's, I mean, David, and I know a lot of people like last week, that kind of talk about, so there's so many things that go into this, and I mean, and when the weather's jacked up, but one little cog in the wheel when you're planning to race every freaking week, man, that's a lot. That's a lot to get done because there virtually is no downtime for you guys. That
is correct. There is no downtime. I mean, fortunately, the past few years, we've had so many rainouts. Still, I don't, we kind of use them as downtime. But a lot of times those rainouts, they come with rain early, but sometimes they don't. They come with rain, and you have to go out there and do all the work, and you still don't get to race.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't. I mean, I guess the perfect deal covered racetrack, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Well, it's only money. It's only money.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. When you find somebody's got that kind of money, you let me know. I'll work the track.
That's what
I'm saying. Yeah.
So David, the one thing I love about Heart of Texas, and Roddy's mentioned on the show before, is that marquee out front, if it says a couple of words, that place is packed. And it usually says either sprint cars or late models, and you guys got them peppered in throughout the season. And then you throw in a couple of the Southern Touring IMCA Modified Series races you guys are going to have back-to-back with Cotton Bowl. Talk about the ability to have, y'all have a good problem to have where, race cars want to come to y'all versus some of the tracks that kind of got to chase them down. So y'all got a good problem to have when racers come to y'all and want to race there.
Well, we have two issues that a lot of people don't realize. I'm going to explain it to you. It's called Friday night racing.
Yep. So
at Waco, we race on Friday night. A lot of times that's a disadvantage. I mean, there's a lot of people that they don't get off work enough. Then you got Interstate 35 to travel on. But a lot of times Friday night racing is an advantage because there ain't nobody else doing it. This year, the modifieds will be there weekly this year, which we haven't done in a few years. Modifieds will be there, and we're going to do some stems races too, but the modifieds will be there every week.
Yeah, that's the thing about it. I think with Heart of Texas, so what makes it even more impressive is over all these years, it's always been a Friday night track. I happen to think that it's really freaking cool that two of the most successful tracks in Texas are Friday night tracks. But anyway, that's a whole different discussion. But with y'all's track, David, I think the thing about it, where we talk about 60 years of continuous racing, the fact, I mean, the different memorial races that you guys have, kind of talk about some of those throughout the season. I mean, there are nights that are named after individuals, Baby Blue, all of these different ones, man. You got so many marquee races every year there at Hot.
Yeah, well, you do everything you can to attract people, attract racers. We do that Baby Blue race. That's for Marcus's mother, who done the national anthem at the racetrack quite a bit. We've done the Gene Item Check Memorial. We've done the Bill White Memorial. I mean, we have a bunch of them, no doubt. But it's when somebody contacts you and anything,
Yeah.
And they want you to do this for them. How do you tell them, nah, we're not going to do that? I ain't figured that out yet. I usually tell them, I mean, I'll do it, but you got to help me promote it.
Yeah.
And that, that's what I try all the racers when we done our little hot lap deal a Sunday ago. Well, it was the 1st of March. We done hot laps at the racetrack. And, I told everybody that I was going to be the promoter again this year. And I told all them guys, we're doing some things this year that, I think will help us. This year we're not going to be on Race On anymore. We're going to be on IMCA TV. Some people don't like, some people do like, but really, racetracks are struggling. And so I, as a businessman, I think I have to go in and go, okay, what are we going to do about this? We went in, we changed the streaming deal.
Yep.
And I don't have a problem with Race On. Chris David, I think the world does, but it's just, it's nothing personal, but it's something that I think that we need to do to help the racing. So I told everybody on that Sunday that we were doing that. And I also told them that we were going to lower general admission prices. And a lot of them are like, everything's going up. How are you doing that? My focus is let's get this racetrack back, a packed house on Friday night. And, you guys, you can watch racing at home a lot more than you can go to the racetrack and watch it.
Yep. Absolutely.
Even NASCAR. I can watch a NASCAR race on TV. It don't cost me nothing.
Yep.
So I think that's I don't know, it's a hard deal.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I got all the race car drivers, as many of them as I can, that I try to be friends with, and then have them guys help me promote this thing. Bring somebody with you. Let's get it back to live racing.
Mm-hmm.
That's what my focus is.
Yeah, David, one of the things I love that Heart of Texas does is it's throughout the season, at least once a month, if not twice a month, you see the track working with the kids and the kiddos. Because we've learned a long time ago, you got to make the kids come back, and you got to keep mama happy, and then everybody comes back. But you guys got the race car riding in the cars. You got the Easter giveaways, bicycle races, all kind of stuff for those kids.
Throwing tires.
Oh, we even got some new stuff coming on this year that don't nobody know about yet. So I'll let y'all know about it. We have contacted a clown. He's not going to be there all the time. I know you're probably thinking we got lots of clowns. They're race car drivers, but I'm talking about a real clown, a funny clown. So we'll have a clown come in, preferably on nights when we're doing kids' rides or something. And then I also met some people with a mechanical bull.
Ho, Bobby.
Uh-oh. Hell, I'm going to have to go to Heart of Texas now.
Now, what I think we need to do is when we have all these guys qualified, if we bring a mechanical bull in on a big race, we could have guys qualifying, and then the longest guy to ride the mechanical bull could start on the pole, I would think. I don't know. I think we got to do some interesting stuff, to entertain people, and, whatever we got to do. Let's fill the house and let's race.
Yeah. And David, you said something a while ago that I think is so spot on, because what you get people all the time, they're saying, well, the track needs to do this. The announcers need to do this, that, and the other to promote. The racers, they need to step it up a little bit too. Yes, you are the show. The racers are the show, but shit, man. Do your part. We're giving you a place to come play. Do your part a little bit more has been my thought.
Well, and another thing that a lot of people don't realize, the racing has evolved so much, and everybody's pulling these fancy, nice enclosed trailers. Don't nobody see that race car anymore. When you have a open trailer trucking down the highway, race car on the back of it, everybody sees it. And where's that guy going? And with the enclosed trailer, you don't have that. So that's why I try to tell these guys, help us promote this event.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe we need to wrap the side of these enclosed trailers with a race car,
something like that.
Yeah, it's funny when you talk to somebody and they're like, "Oh, he's down there in the white trailer." Oh, really? Yeah, that helps out a whole hell of a lot. Which one?
Yeah.
Oh, he's with the
Right.
white truck and the white trailer. That still don't help any either. So in terms of the racing action, you guys pretty much run the same classes every week. Looks like y'all guys kind of split out the junior limiteds to not every time, but
Right.
good section of that. Talk about that junior limited class. That's got to be one of the best classes that you guys have. That then definitely, as far as driver development, there's not a better class in the state for driver development for young drivers.
Yeah, that thing has really turned out well. My kids, Sarah, my youngest daughter, and David Jr., my son, both of them started out racing in sport mods. And as they evolved, Sarah started having kids and kind of put racing on the back burner for a while. And David Jr., he stepped up to a modified for a while and stepped down to a stock car or however you want to call it. But I had these race cars laying around. And I told Selby, I said, we need to, the kids, my grandkids are coming up and wanting to race. And I'm like, I really don't want to do this mini stock deal and have to learn this 4-cylinder toe racing engine. I already know the sport mod, so let's do that. Let's start it with a junior. And I didn't think that it was going to go as well as it did, but I'm glad that it has.
Yeah, absolutely. David, for you, you mentioned it a while ago. Now promoter. Okay, let's kind of talk about the, I guess, hierarchy or whatever we want to call it there at Heart of Texas. Now the promoter is the tech guy, so forth and so on. Who's doing what? Who's doing what in 2026 out there in Heart of Texas Speedway?
Well, that ain't all in concrete yet.
Okay. Okay.
Because we ain't got opening night out of the way. I can tell you that Selby will be the tech guy. He'll be the tech guy with JB, which I done this deal 10 years ago for a couple of years at Waco. They hired Selby, and Selby was the tech, was the promoter. JB helped him, so it really is not going to be a lot different than it was 10 years ago. And the fact that it's our 60th year, we're kind of using that to back up on the price tag of general admission. So, general admission went back to $15. And then we do 12 for seniors and students. And then we also do, if you show up with a Heart of Texas shirt on or hat or any of the memorabilia of Texas, you'll get that senior or student discount.
Nice. That's
Nice.
awesome.
So,
I love it.
I don't know. We'll do everything we can to try to make it the place to be on.
You betcha.
So, David, here's a question that I have. Being an old school racer like yourself and being around it in a long time, I talked to some of the people at my track the other day, and we were talking about trying to find ways to get the fans more involved. And back in our day, the way that you got involved was when the races were over, you hightailed it to the pits as a little kid so you could shake hands, sit in cars, meet the racers, get autographs, all that good stuff. It does not seem like us as announcers can announce that till we're blue in the face. Hey, when the race is over, go to the pits, go to the pits, go to the pits. Even if the races end at a decent time period, it doesn't seem like the people want to go to the pits. And more importantly, it doesn't seem like the racers want to hang around and interact with the fans that way. Is that something that you can think about or you have an idea on?
I'm gonna tell you guys as announcers what I think that you can do to help that. And I think when you get to the racetrack, get you a little hand recorder, stop and talk to a race car driver, pick a different one every week. And I think in doing, just talk to him, kind of interview him and ask him all the questions. How long you been in it? Just any question you come up with, if you ask that guy questions, when you go back to announcer's booth and you play that, when you play that audio for them people to listen to, they begin to feel like they know them people.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when they feel like they know people, and I have to do what I can to get this race over at a decent time. And I'm really fighting that deal with Waco. But we got to do our best to make it over at a decent time. And I think if y'all come in and do these audio, interviews with some of these drivers, and if I can get it over in a decent time. Now I think we're talking about. We haven't decided this yet, but we're talking about at Waco. We're going to do something about the winner's circle ceremony. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to keep all the cars in the infield until the end of the night, and then all of them people that wants to come down out of the stands, and ain't no hurry to get back.
Yeah.
But that time frame that we have used up by allowing them people from the stands to come down to the winner's circle, I think we have to quit that. I mean, I'm probably going to get people mad at me over it, but we don't have time to do that.
Well, David, and that goes back to what you're talking about with the Friday night challenge, the challenges of Friday night, because you have to start at 8. I mean, you can't.
Right,
yeah,
right.
And then when it gets hot, I mean, I've been there when it's extremely hot, and shit, we didn't start till 8:30 because it's just so hot. 8:45. I mean, and it's really hard to get all of that done. So, talk about tomorrow night. So you can catch it on imca.tv, but ideally we want you in the stands. And again, great bleachers. I mean,
yes.
Great place to go. I mean, it really, I compare your track to Pensacola on the asphalt side. That's the feel that I get when I walk up to there. So talk about what we see on Friday night there, tomorrow night at Heart of Texas.
Well, tomorrow night, I mean, as well as I do that opening night is usually a handful.
Be patient, people. Be patient. Yeah.
Right. And the thing about it is what everybody has to realize. I've been through quite a bit of stuff at Waco. I mean, we took over Waco. We lost Gene Itemcheck, which was a promoter for a long time, but Gene stayed up. Well, I mean, we lost Gene. Okay, so Buddy, who had been there, or Buddy Caskey had been there. I guess he'd been there for 50 years at least, and we lost Buddy at the end of last year.
Yep.
And it was like, I mean, I think it was about the middle of last year when we lost Buddy. But
that guy did it all, man. Oh, damn it, we lost David. Okay, we'll see if we can get him back.
My phone ringing.
And now we lost David.
Well,
I don't mean to laugh at it, but anyway,
right.
Sorry. Yeah.
Well, I mean, last September, we lost Jerry.
Yeah.
And Jerry was, Gene and Buddy both were very important to the racetrack. I mean, Jerry was like, it's been my best friend 15 years.
Yeah.
And we lost him. We managed to get through the Fall Classic. And now we're starting this year off without him. And it's gonna be a little bit different. So I can't really tell you exactly what everything is going to be like. I can tell you that I'll pull every rabbit out of every hat that I can pull off to make this season great. And it's our 60th year, and that's really done the price changing, and we've done some things. And I mean, I guess we'll only find out. Time tells. As the world turns, you might say.
David,
is what's going to really happen.
David, I'm
next.
glad you put all that out, because last week when you had to cancel, I mean, I'm like anybody. I read comments and shit and whatever, and my thought as I'm reading all that is everything you just said. I'm like, people, you need to back up a little bit. You need to kind of calm down, calm your tits, as the kids say, because there's a lot of stuff that's going on, that has gone on.
Well, and I want to get this out there too. Last week on Friday, we realized that the front gate at the racetrack was sparking. Well, if you take a multimeter and hook the ground to one side and the positive to the other side, there's 16 volts between the two gates.
Holy moly.
Well, I mean, that causes all of the lights in the concession stand are flickering like strobe lights. And we're like, okay, we got somebody in here. We got to get an electrician in. And, Benji Kirkpatrick, Benji come in and help us with that deal. And we had this problem last year. And Jerry was an electrician too. And Benji and Jerry both worked on it. And Nick Morris helped us with that too. And I thought we had it fixed. But when the lights started flashing again, we realized we didn't have it fixed. Well, we done lost a compressor in one of the main coolers in the concession stand. So we're like, okay, we got to fix this. Well, I don't need anybody getting electrified with the front gate. I mean, you know that.
Right.
But I couldn't order no food.
Yeah.
I'm in the freezer zone, so I can't order no food. And Benji come in Friday morning early. I guess it was about 11 o'clock. Benji figured out what our problem was. And it is a neutral wire behind the meter. Well, you got to get a hold of Encore and have them come in and pull the meter, and because that was something that Encore done. It had nothing to do with Benji or me or anybody else. It's what Encore had a little mess up, and I'm not trying to throw them off, by no means. That made it to where I couldn't order the food.
Yeah.
I was going to have a race night without no food. The wind blowing 30 miles an hour, and we got this big chance of rain. So we just made an executive decision, cancel it.
Yeah.
I hated to do that. There's probably going to be some people that goes, well, he just don't want to race. And I mean, I've had that before. I've had people call me and tell me it ain't raining over at my house. We're not racing at your house. You know what I mean? But I get it. I mean, people don't understand. We actually want them to race worse than they want to race,
Yeah, absolutely.
But I mean, that's part of the reason that all of that stuff didn't happen. I believe we're going to go back to doing a King of the Hill deal this year. I haven't posted that in the schedule at all. We're going to try to go old school and do some things that we used to do that, when we were at Killeen, it was pretty successful. And I'll just bring in everything that my little mind can luster up to, all these people in and kids and just everything I can do to make it great,
Yes, sir.
Make racing great again, right?
There you go.
Well, David, we wish you the best of luck, dude. Don't let the haters get down on you, because that happens at every track, and it's the great tracks that persevere. And clearly, 60 years at Waco, that track has found a way. And we wish you nothing but the best of luck, and let us know how we can help, and any way we can help out and let you guys, have a successful, 60th season. Just let us know, and we'll do the best we can to help you guys out.
Right. All right.
Yep.
That works, buddy.
Yep. You ever need me, David, holler. My company's name is on that banner. Friday nights are better for me now, so just let me know, brother.
Thank you.
All right, take care.
All right. Bye-bye.
You bet. There he is. David Good, Heart of Texas Speedway. There's the full schedule right there. I'm going to a couple things that I took out of that. When people start the whole, I am going to post on Facebook when they're like, it ain't raining at my house. I'm going to start posting. We're not racing at your house. I love that.
Right. That was great, wasn't it? That was fantastic.
That's great. That's great. And get electrified at Heart of Texas Speedway.
Electrifying action, both in the racetrack and in the grandstands at the front gate.
Oh man, that's great right there, man. And that's, hey, I 60 years, everything that they're doing right there. I mean, they are literally taking it back old school, and it's an old school place. I mean, and like we were talking about, track has a Hall of Fame, a legit Hall of Fame, and you look at names on there, and it's like, I mean, it really is a great place to go watch racing. I mean, it really is a track, and the track's immaculate. That's the other part of it, man.
Yeah, I didn't realize they're running IMCA modifieds every race weekend again. That'll be challenging with stems, but on Fridays. But maybe they just run Waco on Friday and then run stems on Saturday.
Yeah. HeartofTexasSpeedway.com, HotSpeedway.com. Also, you can get all the information. They kick off tomorrow. The Lone Star Dwarf Club will be a part of that action there. And again, the Friday night challenge, that and they've done it so effectively. I mean, there are times, where at Waco, you go in there and you're still there at 2 a.m. Sometimes. I mean, it's not as often as it used to be, but on Friday nights, man, that is extremely hard. And I will forewarn you, if you're heading up towards Waco from our part of the world, be prepared, because 35 Waco is all jacked up again. It was fixed. I took about 3 trips to Fort Worth last year, and it was like smooth sailing. I got held up more in Temple than anywhere else, but it is all jacked up again. I don't get it. Leave it alone. You just fixed it.
35 is nonstop construction from San Antonio all the way to Fort Worth.
You know, it's like our tollway, you know, here in Austin, to where it's like, okay, let's get in there and butcher it all up. It's one of those things where what's the old saying? A penny saved is a penny earned. They built our tollway over here, and again, here we are, totally off topic, but they built that tollway in record time, and they built it quite cheaply.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess that's why it's always
they had to go in and redo half of it. Yeah, because it was falling apart.
Yeah, it's like it just opened. You know, the thing just opened, and here we are getting it all tore up again. But that's a damn good interview right there from David.
I love it when the promoters are honest. You got to love it and appreciate it.
And that's what happens when you get like dudes like David Good that have done it well, and it doesn't change his style, like he was talking about there with the Colleen days. Nothing has changed. The mindset of everything that he's doing and has done in the past, nothing has changed. And I do ask you folks, take it a little easy on Heart of Texas. They've been through a lot of shit. They've been through a lot of shit in the last year. Just the names he wrote, Mr. Buddy. I mean, that guy did everything. I'm serious. That guy, I'd roll up in there and he's like, "What do you need?" I'm like, "I don't need anything." And it was one of those things where he keep coming up. Then he'd come rolling up with a Mick Ultra. "Here you go. You sound like you're dehydrated." I'm like, I didn't know I could sound dehydrated, but thank you.
Yeah, right.
Know, he's just a good dude. Just a good dude.
No, it's a fun. I think I'm gonna try to make it up there for one of the Stems doubleheaders.
Mm-hmm.
With the Stems on Friday night and the doubleheader to Cotton Bowl. As long as we're not racing at Texana, I'll be trying to be a social butterfly at other racetracks this year.
Yeah, I think that those really are going to be some highlight weekends right there, because that for Texas race fans is much more manageable. And again, if you're coming from the San Antonio parts and so forth, you know, it's a little bit of a hike. But I mean, I'll tell you honestly, for me, where those are the two closest racetracks to me, Cotton Bowl and Heart of Texas. And that's one where I would be more apt, just for a lot of reasons, I would be more apt to try to do that double, because I can come sleep in my bed both nights. You know what I mean? So and I think that and tremendous racetracks and the differences in the tendencies of the two racetracks. You got a quarter-mile high bank, you know, Heart of Texas Speedway, and then a 3/8 mile high banked, just flat foot wide Cotton Bowl Speedway. Those are going to be great events, man. I'm going to try to take in one of those myself.
And the last time Stems was at Hot, they had record car count.
Mm-hmm.
Huge. The LCQ for Stems was an all-star race anywhere across the state of Texas.
Yeah, and I think that's where, you know, kind of Heart of Texas Speedway lays in one of those areas to where you can pull in some of the quote unquote invaders that maybe you can get from the northern part, from DFW, that can come in and be a part of that. And the on-demand shirts money is good there with Stems, and I think that Stems, I mean, I'm looking forward. We can break it down here in just a second about what you guys have coming up at Texana with the double dip. I mean, I don't know what the forecast is on car count, but I think that folks are pretty antsy to get out of the gate and get racing, and not a better place to do it than TRP. We'll talk about that here in just a second, but kind of recapping a couple of things from the past weekend on the short track front. You had they were chasing bears over at Montgomery Motor Speedway. No surprise. Modifieds of Mayhem, the BMF number 30. Caden Honeycutt, the winner there. Not that one didn't surprise me.
Not really, no.
Yeah. I had a lot of buddies in that race, Caden being one of them, but I looked at that and I'm like, "Ooh, Caden in that 30, that's going to be tough. That's going to be tough." And he takes it easily.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good stuff there. Jake Finch in the Pro Late Models, he gets him a bear again. I think in that one, kind of no surprise.
I'd say that wasn't a shocker either.
Yeah. All of this in prelude to what you have coming up next week over at South Alabama Speedway with the Rattler. And, of course, you'll have the Pro Late Models, Super Late Models, the Sportsman, and the Super Stocks. And the other, I think, cool part about what is going to happen at the Rattler next weekend, if you're making that trip, and if you're not making the trip, you can catch that on ultrabroadcasting.com, is that they are allowing this year where you see the Sportsman from Ricky's UARA and the Super Stocks very much resembling each other. This year you can actually run both races. One of the things being that you have to have the stamped F53 tire, I think it is, from Hoosier, purchased from South Alabama. But that's going to be a damn good weekend of racing. Hopefully weather holds out, and that's always a crowd favorite at that racetrack. That's a racy little joint right there too.
Yeah, no, it's on a bucket list for me to get up there, especially for the Rattler, with the star-studded car count. It's actually kind of fit well into the schedule. Depends on, there's going to be probably going to be some carnage at Pensacola, like there always is at Pensacola, just because that place likes to eat cars and chew them up and spit them back out. So hopefully there's not too much carnage there the week before they head to the Rattler. But it's a good weekend for the South, man, and a couple of good weekends running together. You got the Stars National Tour there at Pensacola, and then 8 days later, you got the UARA race at the Rattler. So
yeah,
it's a good time to be a fan of super late model racing in the Southeast right now.
Yeah, it definitely is, and you will have a lot of the crossover. You look at the Sunshine State 200 and the Rattler 250, and you do have a lot of names that are on there. One of the or some of the names that are noticeably absent on the Rattler entry list are the Donnie Wilson cars. You don't have anybody from Donnie Wilson on that entry list. Don't know. Again, I know alliances are made, and there are you can go back and forth on UARA, as a benefit because of this. I mean, I like the limited practice time. I like the limited tires. I like all of that. But with ASA, they're this. I mean, there's advantages to both, but it is good that you do see that both of the entry lists right now are very healthy for the two events, especially that they are so close in proximity. And that's going to be the thing to really watch this year when it comes to that stuff, is a lot of these races, again, when we talk about scheduling friendliness and all that, ain't none of that happening there. It's more, okay, your event is on this Sunday. Okay, we're going to schedule the following Saturday. Yeah. And it looks like early on it's working out.
On the plus side, a lot of the ASA national races, I don't have my schedule right in front of me. A lot of the ASA national races in the Midwest are midweek.
Mm-hmm.
Hickory's midweek, I think, and you got North Wilkesboro's midweek. You got Berlin's midweek. So you got a couple of different shows there that are running Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday shows there. So that helps out the scheduling a little bit. But as you said, you'll have a show on Wednesday and then another big marquee race on Saturday. So it's there. So it becomes a challenge for sure.
Yeah, and I think that really is the great thing about that is with ASA that they do schedule those races in geographical areas that are more apt to be able to support the midweek races. I mean, down south, I really don't think we can do it. I mean, it's never worked.
Well, the Midwest is more accustomed to midweek races.
Yeah, that's the thing, and I think that is the one thing that works out nicely is that they're able to do that. And again, it's a crunch on the teams because now with super late models, I mean, we talk about Cup racing and O'Reilly Auto Parts Series racing and the Craftsman trucks. I mean, this isn't totally the equivalent, but I mean, when you talk about travel and you talk about expenses and all that, it's somewhat in the ballpark with some of that stuff. So
the hotel rooms cost the same. And the gas is the same to get your teams to and from, and the rental cars cost the same. So that's the same amount of money as you spend on the cars don't cost the same amount of money, but it's relative. But yeah, the to and from the racetrack and all that, it's all the same. All the same gas prices, all the same hotel rooms, all that stuff's all the same price.
Yeah. And speaking of, I mean, one of the things that I found just kind of getting ready for the show here today, I mean, when we talk about scheduling and so forth and races and midweeks and all that, the High Limit Series is one that you look at with them. And again, the Dirt Series are so much different to where they are very accustomed. I mean, Lucas Oil, World of Outlaws, sprint cars and the late models, they are constantly running during the week. But take a look at what you have coming up with High Limits. So this weekend, what is today? So starting today, I mean, you're in Vegas. You're in Vegas today through the 14th. So you've got that. You're going to coincide with the Cup weekend and so forth going on there. You've got all that. Then you go to Central Arizona the 19th through the 19th through the 21st. Then on the 24th, you go to Vado, which, by the way, I passed that on the way home.
Hell of a nice track, isn't it?
God, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
And that's the first time you got to see it, isn't it?
The first time I've seen it. Location.
That's from a couple of 100 yards away on the interstate, and it still looks that damn good.
Yeah, and you want to talk about location. You want to talk about right off the highway. That son of a bitch is right off the highway. It's like if a car comes out of one of the corners and gets high enough, it's going to land on I-10. It's that close to the highway. You got that one. Then you go to Amarillo at Route 66 on the 27th, and on the 28th, Dodge City, Kansas. So High Limit has themselves this sprint car battle is going to be one this year too that I'm looking forward. I'm kind of a high limits guy just for different reasons. I kind of like, like when it comes to golf, I'm very much a PGA guy because I don't like some of the stuff that the Live Tour does because I don't feel that that's very golfy. But when it comes to some of the stuff that High Limits does to me, it just kind of more progressive. You know what I mean? And I'm not a progressive guy at all, but I'm kind of digging on the High Limits right now.
Yeah. No, I mean, they got it. Another big sprint car show, World Outlaws, up in North Texas at at Kennedale Speedway this weekend, Friday. Well, actually Friday and Saturday. Solid. You see the entry list for their I think it's IMCA Modifieds one night and Sport Stock Cars the next.
Yeah,
they got some pretty good heavy hitters in both them races.
Yeah. Also, I did enjoy on the well, I say time off. I was actually working, but when we weren't doing the show, I mean the run by Devin Moran the other night at Golden Isles, man. That I like to give dirt people a hard time when when I'm watching a race. I don't care if it's a local race or late models or whatever. To where I'm like, okay, who's on the pole? That dude's going to win, or that girl's going to win. Whoever's on the pole or front row. That dude came from 22nd. From 22nd position, Moran comes to win that race. That's pretty good. Our man Garrett Albertson, good third place finish right there too. So great stuff, man, that we've watched here in the last couple of weeks since the last time we congregated on this show.
Yeah, Ben, what's that? This is that time of year. Springtime is here. The races are abundant. They're like rabbits. The races are starting to multiply more and more and more. All you got to do is just flip on the right subscription and check it out. I mean, think about what was it that just did the Speed Week on Ultra. What was the at Southern National?
Oh yeah.
They just did a week worth of that on the asphalt. So I mean, it's racing season is here. It never really stops, but man, it's March, middle of March, spring break. It's ready to rock and roll.
And I like how they did Southern National too, because like the guy said in the advertisement, it was March 1st and then March 4th through 7th, to where it's like it's not like the World Series to where it's like so much. But that to me is kind of you encompass that into a smaller window. And from everything that I saw, I mean, that looked like a great weekend. By the way, with UARA, I mean, you had it in the pro. Jason Vale wins at Auburndale. And so we are just cranking races out right now. And it's about to hit right here. And you will be our man right there on the scene coming up at Texana Raceway Park Friday night. That is tomorrow, and Saturday with the doubleheader for Stims. Your local classes are getting going. I'll interview you now, Bobby Chaffee from Texana Raceway Park. What do we expect coming up, man? I think you guys are going to jam the pits. And by the way, and this is me. This is not Bobby talking on behalf of the racetrack that he works with. Race Ranch. Why are you practicing on Saturday? Don't do that. Don't do that. Nobody's going. They're going to Texana.
It's gonna be crowded. The test went well that we had the last weekend till the rain came with Mother Nature, kind of put a damper on that after a little over an hour.
That old bitch don't care what's going on.
But weather looks good. Going to be a little chilly there towards the very end of the night, but I've talked to our buddy Nick Robbins, been on the phone with Rachel Stewart, Monty Cord, everybody.
Who?
We're all on the same page.
Rachel who?
Rachel Stewart, you remember her? Yeah.
Yeah.
You might remember her as a picture taker from
That's right.
Cotton Bowl and Kyle.
Yeah. I know her. Yeah, that's right.
But been on the phone all week. Made some good, solid decisions today with Cord and Monty. Some operational trackside type of stuff today. We're bringing back the old victory lap. Because for some people, I'd say for some people, a heat race might be the only thing they're going to win all year. So we were originally just going to do it for the main events, and I said, let's just do it for the heat races too. It's not going to take all that long, and it's something special when you win a heat race. So
it's so cool. I mean, I remember the first time I ever won a heat race. I thought I was going to drop the flag when they handed that damn thing to me. I was shaking so bad, and that's, I think that something that I'd like to see come back. Any racetrack. I remember like at Longhorn, they would run the trophy dash. And by the way, rest in peace to Lisa Stewart Painter. She was actually one of the driving forces. Her and Alvin, now both of them we've lost. I mean, the glory days of Longhorn in the more modern times that we were a part of, they were
right in the middle of it. They were the head honchos.
That was Saturday night rock and roll at that place. I mean, that was the place to be in Austin. That
never knew how good you had it either.
Oh God. I mean, they had that place. I mean, the things that they did, remember, like Motorola night at the races, let them in for $1. All of these different things. I mean, 3M night. I mean, all of these things. That
you
was
still have authentic beer signs in your garage from Longhorn Speedway.
I sure do. Absolutely. $2 beer. Coldest beer in town was Longhorn Speedway. But it was like in those days at Speedway or at Longhorn, you would run the trophy dash until you won the son of a bitch. They would. I mean, it was like you got in the rotation right there and you would start fourth and you probably weren't going to win that week. And you kind of moved yourself up and eventually you got to the pole and somehow you could lead 4 laps and they're going to give you a trophy.
That's right. 4 laps.
Yeah.
It started as the Miller Mile and then it went to
Mile. Yeah.
Started as the Miller Mile, 4 laps around a quarter mile. And then Sean took over.
Yep.
Southwestern Motor and Transmission Rebuilders Motor Mile. So
yep.
That was a lot of fun. Got to do a lot of that too. Well, in the interest of time, new start time this season for Texana, 7:30 versus 7. Give everybody a little, because we know we're going to have quite a few travelers, both in the grandstands and on the actual racing surface. So give them just a little bit more time, not having to rush as much to get down there. Plus, during the summertime, starting at 7:30 probably helps out with the heat just a tick.
Mm-hmm.
And so they got a full field of cars, got them ready to rock and roll. Stems should be really good. We'll actually be doing a pre-race show live from Texana, approximately 5 o'clock. I'm still working on the final logistics on that, but we'll have should have Nick Robbins on for a little bit to preview Texana and the STEM series as a whole there in 2026. So keep your eyes and ears peeled for that. And it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. I'm actually leaving tomorrow, noonish, potentially. It's amazing how much gear you have to bring when you start doing live shows at the racetrack. I got a suitcase full of shit.
Yeah, it's like when I travel now, and that show on the TRP page and
TRP page, this page, and STEM's page, if I can get it to link up.
There you go, right there. If you need help with that, just let me know. I'm not sure if STEM still can. I think it can. I don't know, but
I'm going to get with you about it anyway. So
okay, I'll double check. I think the thing about that is, like when I travel, it's like I've got all my clothes. It's like, and then I've got a whole different thing rolling up, where it's and the funniest part for me is like, because when I'm traveling, I mean, I may do some voice stuff or whatever, and it's like if I'm doing a live show, I walk out of a hotel room. Actually, I don't know if I've told this on this show before, but I walked out of a hotel room one morning. I was doing a morning show, and I came out, and the nice lady's out there, and she's like, "Everything all right in there?" I think it was like after a Texas football loss. And so, it was one of those things where it was like, there's a lot of shouting and maybe some cussing. Everything okay in there? Who you talking to? I'm like, the masses. But yeah, you do. You carry a lot of gear around when you start doing that stuff.
Yeah. I have to carry like 5 tripods because I don't know exactly which one's going to be the right height. I don't have the table, so I got to bring my own table this week.
Yep. So that'll be good. Texana Raceway Park. And again, get to the racetrack, because that's the thing. Back to what David was talking about. I see the back and forth where I understand that where if you go to Race On or whatever, yes, it's more budget friendly because it's whatever it costs a month and you can watch all these different races or whatever. But what I think and kind of reading between the lines right there of what David was saying is, if you can't get to the racetrack, they want you there. I mean, they want you there, but if you can't, it's kind of one of those things where they're kind of nudging you a little bit to try to get you to the racetrack. And I get it that if you're in a mileage radius to where it's not feasible for you to get to the racetrack often, that part does suck. But you got to realize from the logistical and financial standpoint of the racetrack, they're trying to get more of the local people in the front gate because they want to sell them the food. that he couldn't buy last week. They want to sell him souvenirs. They want to sell him all of that stuff because that's what generates revenue for the racetrack. I understand that if you're 100 miles away, you can't go every Friday. But at the same time, I don't know the economic makeup of IMCA.TV or any of these things for whatever. But hopefully some of that reciprocates back to the racetrack.
It's like by Marshalltown, Iowa, concept and theory. It's fun to watch that on Flow Racing because they put on a hell of a good racing program there at Marshalltown. It's fun to watch. They have some great racing. We see lots of Texans that we know end up at Marshalltown for some of the bigger events and stuff like that. That's great because it's, 1,500 miles away from here.
Mm-hmm.
And I can sit on my ass in Texas and watch it. But if my ID says Marshalltown, Iowa, or within a 50-mile radius of Marshalltown, Iowa, your ass probably needs to be in the grandstands and not watching that on streaming.
Yeah, that's really the thing. And I will say that when you go to a local racetrack, you do still, again, like he said, it's going to cost money to go to the racetrack. But if you're going to go buy food at a local track, if you're going to go buy beer, you're going to buy sodas, whatever, and again, I know everybody's financial situation is different, but again, that's revenue that is for the racetrack that they have spent money to have that there for you. It's still a hell of a lot more affordable than, for example, going to, paying $8 or $9 for popcorn at a movie or $6 at a movie. I mean, you probably get a beer for $4 or $5. I know there at Texana, there's like dollar beer night, or there has been in the past. I mean, hot dog, $2. That's money.
A turkey leg at the Houston Rodeo is $21.50.
Yeah, it's outrageous. And it's like when you talk about why people can't or won't go to live sports. For one, and this is the big sports. These are the, just a ticket to get into anywhere is stupid. And that's why when I see right now, TMS coming up in May, for their NASCAR events, they've got the 2 for $99. Is that a lot? Yes, but that's pretty affordable. That's pretty affordable.
I can't remember what our Rockingham tickets are, but they were relatively reasonable for what it was.
Yeah.
Now to get a radio, it damn near cost as much to get a radio as it did to get a ticket, but
yeah. But those are kind of like the fan luxuries. You don't. That's one of those things where it's neat to have. You don't, and that's where when people are going to travel, they're going to go to that stuff. You kind of plan. Okay, maybe I don't need this. Maybe I don't need that. But these local tracks that we have, I can only speak for South Texas and it's been forever since I've been. It's not a lot to get in. 15, $20, that's money, but it's not a lot these days. Get in there and enjoy yourself. Hell, they'll let you take your own beer to a lot of these places. So it's, get out and support the local tracks. Support the streamers too, but at the same time, support the local tracks. That's
if you're local, support the locals.
That's it. Will I be watching Pensacola tomorrow and Mobile on Saturday? Yes, because I'm a little ways away from there and I can't go. I would much rather be there. I can honestly tell you I would much rather be there, but I can't. So when I can, I will. But anyway, don't know how we got on that topic, but anyway. Again, recap for us, Texana, man, coming up this weekend. Double dip, 2 nights.
Yeah, double dip 2 nights with the Southern Touring IMCA Modified Series. I'm gonna have to give Nick $1 every time I mess that up. But
that's why I'm letting you do it, because I got it wrong the last time.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff happening in terms of what's going on. Actually, technically, there's a practice tonight. Starts at 7:00 to around 11. Then they're having a party in the pit starting around 11. Tomorrow afternoon, pit gates open at 4, grandstands open at 5, drivers meeting at 7, racing starts at 8. We'll have obviously the STEM series there. We have E-mods, hobby stocks, factory stocks, and limited modifieds on Friday night. The Saturday afternoon, gates open at 3, go-kart hot laps at 4:15, go-kart heat races at 4:30, followed by the go-kart heat race or go-kart feature races. General admission opens up at 5, drivers meeting at 6:30, racing begins at 7:30. Double points for the local Texana classes there on Saturday night. Friday night's just a money race, and Saturday night's for the double points. And as always, any local Texana Raceway class that gets 18 cars or more, guaranteed $1,000 to win.
There you go. Right there. Nothing wrong with that. Should be a great weekend. Weather will cooperate, and get yourself out there. It's a great place. Lots of improvements continue to happen out there. So,
I love that fence on the backstretch. Makes that place look so much bigger.
Looks good, right? It's looks really good. Everything that I've seen. Looking forward to it. May try to sneak over Saturday. Don't know. No promises. We'll see. Good stuff there. Good stuff from David Good talking about Heart of Texas Speedway. Of course, our man Brian Benedict talking about the doubleheader at Mobile, or at Five Flags and Mobile. On to a little bit of NASCAR stuff, my man. The Tyler Reddick streak has been broken. So are we now going to say that Blaney's getting special favors because he passed 49 cars? I don't hear the outcry about the cheating. You know, I don't hear the more horsepower on that. Past 49 cars, 2 loose wheels. Something's wrong.
Yeah, that was a hell of a car. That was a hell of a car he had sitting there. So definitely got lots of fun. Good race weekend for Phoenix. Obviously, the IndyCar ratings were really exceptionally good. The O'Reilly Auto Parts Series ratings were exceptionally good. All kind of stuff. I'm watching the dog in the background. Come here, doggy dog.
Bobby, I got to tell you, man,
he's deaf.
Phoenix, Phoenix is amazing. I mean, it's always kind of been one of my favorite tracks to watch on TV. But the speed, and when they're down on that apron, and it is, you haven't been there, have you?
Nope, never been there,
dude. You have got to go to Phoenix. That's one of those tracks to where you want to talk about where everything is right there. And that's where, as to me with COTA, yeah, it's great that it's here, but it's so spread out, and
you can't see anybody. I couldn't see any of my friends there at COTA because I couldn't get from the media center to turn 15.
Yeah, it's like so many different people wanted to connect with me at COTA weekend, and I'm like, no, you're not anywhere near me. I can't get over there, and quite frankly, I don't want to walk over there. You know,
too far.
Phoenix, it is unbelievable. I mean, the layout of it now, and when you have watched Phoenix for as long as we have, and you think about the different variations that you've seen of it, and and for the folks that say, again, I didn't see any of the Cup race at COTA, so that's kind of something that I can't even
typical Cup race at COTA. Now,
the horsepower difference, when folks are like, you can't. I could tell the horsepower difference at Phoenix. They sounded throatier. They sounded louder. I mean, it's a great track to watch a race. God bless America. That was our race, the O'Reilly race on Saturday night, dude. That was amazing.
I actually had friends that were telling me they enjoyed the O'Reilly race better at COTA than they did the Cup race.
You know, and I've heard a lot of conversation about that to where
it's the number. I'm telling you, you move the number, half the bitching about the next gen car will stop if you move the damn number.
And that's something that they may end up doing, dude, because as much as they're trying to gather stuff back in, I mean, maybe they'll do it, because I know that I've said, about with the way the car is with the quarter panel and all that, but I've seen different renderings and all that. It'll work. I mean, it'll work. And then I've seen some renderings of numbers move forward on the O'Reilly cars. And I'm like, well, that might work too. But the O'Reilly race is just, I mean, that car. I heard Rodney Childers talking on the radio, because I listened to Sirius XM a lot for 2,224 miles over the last few days. And talking about how that car's still the one that you can sit in there and tweak on and do different things with. That really shows why the racing is better, because those guys just get in there and drive the piss out of them and keep making adjustments. It's a good car. The car really is the difference.
It's a proven commodity is what it is.
Yeah. But this car here is getting racy. I mean, I think they're on to something, maybe. Good TV numbers. You mentioned that. TV numbers, I guess, were about as even as they were last year, I think is what I saw.
Cup race was just a tick lower.
A tick lower. Okay.
But it's a different weekend.
Yeah. The O'Reilly numbers continue to climb. And I think a lot of that is just the whole, I think so much of that really is where, when you talk about the CW, it's like a lot of people are like, I'm just going to watch it because it's not Fox, it's not Prime, it's not TNT, it's not NBC. I'm just going to watch it because it's over-the-air TV.
I say it's free.
is free. Yeah. And it's delivering. And for IndyCar, man, run more ovals. Run more ovals. Proof is right there. Run more ovals.
The problem is I don't want it to be. I think you need to do a doubleheader with NASCAR, a tent poles, once in the beginning, once in the end, and then leave it at that. You don't need to run NASCAR and IndyCar together every single weekend.
No. And the thing about it is it's going to happen. It's going to happen in the first part of the season because this is very Fox driven, like we talked about.
Yeah.
They
should have put both of them on the same network, though.
Yeah. I am very much more, in your opinion now, the more that I think about it, about a Charlotte thing, to where I think IndyCar and the Charlotte Roval would be fantastic. I mean, do that and do the Cup guys on the, I mean, I say do them on the Roval, but I guess do them on the oval because that's what seems to work better for people. But I think
they should have done a doubleheader at the Roval. That's where it should have been done.
I totally agree. And the whole thing about it is because this very much is NASCAR. This is IndyCar riding the coattails of NASCAR. I don't care how you spin this. You can spin this however you want to do it. NASCAR is the one that has the numbers, the TV numbers. They have the fan base. They're bringing IndyCar along. I mean,
There was definitely a hell of a lot more NASCAR fans watching that IndyCar race than there was IndyCar fans watching the Cup race.
The fan base there on site, it was a lot of IndyCar, and that was the coolest part. I got to tell you honestly, that was the coolest part, Bobby. On Friday was watching the commingling, if you want to call it, of the two, to where it's like, we had these long lines of people that were getting there, playing our games and doing all the different things we had going on over there, and I would just kind of walk around, kind of doing what I do, just greeting the fans, and it's like listening to the conversations. It's like when they started talking about horsepower and all the different things and tire wear and tire management and downforce and all this, it's like it is night and day, the conversations they were having. But you're blending the two fan bases. And I talked to a lot of IndyCar fans after the fact that came up, to me. I'm obviously dressed in the company that I work for stuff, and they're like, your series is really cool. And that's what you want. That's really what you want. Dirt, asphalt, we're all in this together, guys. Drag racing, hell, Supercross for that matter. We're all in this, tugging at it the same way. We're all chasing football. We're all chasing football and college basketball and college football. We're all chasing them.
Well, I mean, IndyCar went to the charters. They're taking a lot of ideas from NASCAR.
Yeah,
because it works. I mean, we talked about it before on this show where. I remember I was when Florida State won the national title in 1993. I went to Fiesta, Texas as a freshman in high school and said, hey, put me in a caricature driving a race car. Well, he put me in an Indy car.
Yeah.
Not a stock car like I was used to. I go when I'm a senior in high school, go back to Fiesta, Texas, go back to a 5 or 6 years later and say, hey, have me driving a race car. Guess what? He put me in a stock car.
Yeah.
And now if you go and ask somebody to put you driving a race car, they're going to put you in a NASCAR.
Yeah. Or Formula One.
Yeah, maybe F1. But hell, nobody can watch that. I didn't see a single commercial for the shit being on Apple TV.
Mm-hmm.
Not one commercial anywhere about Formula One on Apple.
Yeah. Well,
that practice from China comes on tonight at like 10:30.
Oh, nice. Well, and that's the
on
thing
Apple,
about it.
but
I think with Formula One, I mean, because I did have that question a couple of times over the weekend, where it's like, when do you think there'll be a Formula One, tie into whatever? It's like,
never.
Formula One don't need any of us. I mean, they're their own thing.
The closest they get was back in Australia when the supercars were running the same weekend as the Formula One cars there in Melbourne.
Yeah. Talked to one guy. He said, an IndyCar Formula One weekend would be great. I'm like, no,
never gonna happen. Cars are too similar.
Cars are way too similar. I said, you want to talk about mass confusion? I said, and the whole thing is, I mean, that would be more of to where when you talk about the fan bases getting along, and now I think, I do understand a little bit with the St. Petersburg stuff, where I guess it was Pato or whoever it was that was like, we don't want to feel like the undercard or whatever the case
And
is.
then he saw the ratings and was like, "Oh shit, maybe we are."
Yeah. It was a very different mindset. It seemed like this week in Phoenix, and the fact that you have the drivers doing different stuff. I mean, that's, and again, this is very Fox driven, and it's very something that's going to help IndyCar. I
But
don't
the
know.
trucks at St. Pete though, that was a hell of a race for a street course.
That
was a damn good race. I wish now they bring the trucks back to Coda on the short course.
Oh man,
I think that makes it for a hell of a race weekend is to put the trucks on the short course.
Dude, a truck weekend, a truck O'Reilly and IndyCar weekend here. If you ran the trucks in the O'Reilly series on Saturday and then run the IndyCars on Sunday, dude,
everybody wants IndyCar back at Coda.
It was one race here and it was so good, and IndyCar at Arlington this weekend. I'm curious to watch that. That just looks like a big ass oval race.
It kind of does. It looks like if you were drunk trying to draw an oval, and that's what you got was the racetrack design.
Well, I will tell you,
the media's all over it though. They were all over it a hell of a lot more than they were when they were running at TMS.
I will tell you, Bobby, having been drunk there for Cowboy games many, many times and walking those streets, that's what it is. It's one constant circle. You start walking and it's like, holy shit, 2 miles later, I'm in the same spot. That's exactly what that is over there. I mean, but yeah, I mean, it's getting all kinds of
information for that race weekend all over our Facebook page. There's the TV schedule and the know before you go for our friends that are going to be there.
That's right. That's going to be, I will be checking that race out. I will be watching that because I think that's good momentum. I think the timing of it to where coming off of the back-to-back NASCAR weekends and look, trucks in the O'Reilly series, they move the needle pretty well right now too. That was a funny thing this weekend to where there were so many IndyCar people that would walk up to me and they're like, I've never seen a NASCAR. I've never seen a NASCAR before. You know, that the car, you know, because in the booth next to us was the Phoenix Raceway booth, and you had an IndyCar and a NASCAR race car, cup car, old car, and they'd walk up and they're like, I've never seen a NASCAR. Oh yeah, that's a NASCAR right there. It's kind of like
that's funny.
Kind of like
you know,
Hendricks.
O'Reilly Auto Parts series and the truck series have proved that they can stand on their own.
Mm-hmm.
Last year, Rockingham was great. I'm going to be up there in 3 weeks to watch the race again. Ticket sales not quite on the level they were for the revival weekend, but they're still substantially. It should be 3/4 the way full, if not 90% there. It's not going to be the cheek to cheek sellout it was last year, but still going to be quite a few. But they proved they could hold a weekend on their own together. I'm going to the Lionel outlet store at the Concord Mills Mall right down the road.
The train thing? Oh no, that's model car or diecast.
The diecast store.
Diecast, yeah.
Yeah, going to go to that store. It's in the Concord Mills Mall right down the street from Charlotte, from right down the road from Hendrick Motorsports.
Nice.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but
I think it's
the collection behind me. It's probably going to be a bad thing.
I think it's an important year for Rockingham in the sense that can you back it up? I mean, is this one of those things to where, like we talk about, you know, with Wilkesboro, we've seen it so many times with the Clash, you know, with everything that happened in the Coliseum. I mean, I really want to see that place as full or even more full to keep that joint going, whether it's that race or adding different races to where, you know, everything's on a 2 to 3 year plan right now. And that's, I hope that works out for Rockingham because I don't know. So did everything get settled with some of that legal mess that was going on there with all of that? I haven't followed close enough to know.
Well, they got sold, so that helped with a lot of that.
Okay, good.
Because a lot of the people were, because IHRA bought it and they went on that spending spree. A lot of people are still on that wait and see with IHRA.
They've already had owner or management changes. The team, yeah.
So a lot of people on the wait and see, but Track Enterprises is still doing the leasing of the facility for the NASCAR stuff. So the biggest thing is that they were just disappointed that the state gave the guy, because it wasn't like when SMI owned Wilkesboro. Now, granted, SMI got most of the money to rebuild Wilkesboro, and they got some money there. I want to say they got $6 to $12 million to redo Rockingham. Whereas, you know, Wilkesboro got 30.
Yeah.
But but there were a lot of people saying he shouldn't sell it because of the fact he got all that free money from the government to rebuild the track, and it's worth a lot more, and he should have to keep it.
Well, the thing with Wilkesboro and all that, I mean, it had some pretty powerful names. When certain guys out there with a leaf blower or weed eater, whatever it was, doing stuff, it's gonna help generate stuff. That's something that we'll kind of see how that works out now with the points race. Watch the fairgrounds, watch Rockingham, watch all of these places. Before we get out of here, Bobby, got to touch on Cletus got a contract.
Yeah.
And that's causing a lot of stir. That's kind of depending what side you're on. I mean, I put him in the same kind of bingo pop-up thing as all the other people. That, I mean, you take advantage of your strengths. He's got a lot of followers. He's got a lot of influence. If that helps him get into racing, I mean, how can you say no? I mean, RCR, there are different situations that are happening there. Their Sunday program is horrible. Saturday, they're really good. What happens to Kyle Busch? I mean, why can't they be competitive? I mean, there's a lot of things right there. They need something positive. They bring this dude in that brings clicks, that brings viewers, that brings all of these different things. And
he's running at Rockingham, so I'm going to be interested to see how many Cletus T-shirts I see.
Right. Do I think that he should be in this position? No, but I'm basing that on the stuff that counts. And a lot of times the stuff that counts, whether it's Cletus, whether it's Tony Breidinger, whether it's insert the driver, that shit don't matter. We see this in short track racing all the time. There are people in seats and spots that probably should not be there, but they have ways of getting in there, whether it's money, whether it's being attractive. In this case, whether it's
power
influencers. Yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah. Very, very, it'd be interesting to see. It's only 3 races. So
yeah.
I mean, he proved he can race by himself in 1 lap. He just hadn't been able to put it together in a race. He stepped on himself there at Charlotte on a restart. Then he stepped on it again in the truck race. Typical finish in the ARCA race for him. So, I mean, we'll see. He's got the money to do whatever he wants. NASCAR's not going to say no. I don't care what anybody says. They're not going to eat crow on it.
Nope.
They are not going to say no.
Nope. You don't go change it now. You don't go changing it now. A lot of outspoken.
Here, he'd still be running ARCA. He wouldn't be in an Xfinity car.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those things when you talk about, when folks benefit from an unfortunate situation, that I do think, and with all due respect, that's kind of what happened right there. But a couple of different people have spoken out on this Cletus situation, and more the driver requirements. How do you get to do this? One of them, KFB.
There's going to be the critics that, where's the approval process? And I'm probably one of those to some, and this might be one of those cases, but we haven't stopped letting people race yet, so why now? I mean, I don't know how many races he's run. Denny Hamlin ran 10,000 before he got here, right? So I don't know if Cletus has run 10 or not, but there's definitely a need to having ample experience of just, my son's probably run more races than he has, and he's 10 years old. You know what I mean? So I don't think that sets well with many of us.
Well, Kyle, I saw him testing a super late model today. His son, Brex.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but again, this does go back to, I mean, he's done it well. I mean, he has done it well. So again, that's a slippery slope. I don't know what races they are. I think I saw Talladega. Is Talladega on that list?
It's Rockingham, Talladega, and Bristol, I think.
Wow. Hey, another one. Your man, Brad Keselowski, who's gotten a little outspoken about road courses and different things. Brad's kind of sailing himself into that owner role really nicely with some of the stuff he's saying. He had some thoughts on Cletus.
Is the approval process broken? Yes and no. It's not broken at the cup level. Is it broken at those other 3 levels? Yes. Those 2 series are meant for guys like Cletus. As long as it doesn't affect Sundays, I think it's probably fine. Those are supposed to be developmental series. We used to have 4 very distinct series with 4 very distinct identities. The truck series was like if you were 35, 40-year-old driver who was pretty good, but weren't quite cup level good, that was your home.
Arguably the most hard-nosed series.
100%. It was the hard-nosed 35 to 45-year-old series. Now it's the place you're like, this guy's 17. He ran 2 races in ARCA. Let's give him a shot. Same thing for the O'Reilly Auto Parts series.
You went from ARCA to O'Reilly most of the time.
Yeah, you're pretty good, but we're not sure you're ready for Cup. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to put you in a race on the same tracks the Cup cars go, with cars that drive kind of similar to a Cup car, but not the same. And we're going to put like half a dozen Cup drivers in the field against you and see what you can do. And by the way, if you do really well, you're going to get a Cup ride very quickly. And then ARCA was a series where we were like, maybe that guy can drive, maybe he can't. Let's go see. Put him on the racetrack. It was the series.
Yeah, it. I think that makes sense, right? What he's saying. I think that's the way it was.
Was that from the new Dale Jr. Download guest host?
Yeah. That was.
He has some very good things to say about SVG.
Yeah. Well, and you know, the driver requirements and all that. Like the thing with Cletus when he was going to race at, I guess, Daytona, and he did his test at Rockingham and hit the fence. Oh yeah, you're good. It's like,
Yeah.
Wait, what? I mean, it's dollars and cents, guys.
NASCAR's not going to tell him no.
No, they're not. I mean, NASCAR
It's
needs
a social media nightmare if they tell him no.
and look, quite frankly, NASCAR needs all of the good that they can have right now because you're still. The Jordan thing is great. I mean, it's, you know, all of the good
Jordan thing is the most beneficial thing that's hit NASCAR in the last 25 years.
Absolutely. It's like you've got the most. I've talked to a couple of different people to where it's like, well, Jordan's old news. No. Michael Jordan will never be old news. And I think the fact
I still have people going up to me. They were asking me about Michael Jordan suing NASCAR. And then I told a couple of my friends that 45 car that just won that race is owned by Michael Jordan. And then I've had people like, hey, what's this deal with Jordan's car winning all these NASCAR races? Like he moves the needle.
Yeah, it's one of those things to where the good. I mean, the people that have talked about NASCAR, just with that happening, and I think what was even bigger about the Daytona thing to me was while the NBA was sitting over there trying to have all these different variations of an all-star game, can't get out of their own way, doing USA versus the world and all these different things. That weekend that they're doing that, Jordan's at Daytona winning the Daytona 500. I mean, if you want to say that this dude isn't bought into this, well, he's very bought in. And I think that when we're going to go back and look at the lawsuit thing, while it was kind of a stain there for a while, the ramifications and positive things that come out of it, Bobby, are going to, they have changed the sport. They've changed the sport for the better, I think.
Yeah. And Airspeed's a beautiful building right there off of I-77. Damn, it's nice. Like I said, the windows are in there at 23 degrees.
Nice. Well, and the points change. I mean, I'm seeing racing different right now. To me, it just seems a lot more aggressive while at the same time, because it's not so much. I mean, some of these guys that are in a hole right now, like Bowman. I mean, we don't know what's going to happen with Bowman. He's out again. Allgaier will be in the car at Vegas.
Chase Briscoe is one. It's an example. Yeah, even Ryan Blaney. Ryan Blaney's 45 points behind him already.
Yeah, these dudes are in a big hole right now. I mean, just a matter of getting into the playoffs, and I think that it does change these things around. But what I'm curious to see is if Reddick can continue. I mean, yeah, he finished 7th or 8th this week. It's a bad week for him. That point lead is still huge. Those
bonus points came back to bite NASCAR in the ass because his point lead of 80 points was all because of the bonus points for winning. He had 45 points for winning. Yep. And then he got stage points on top of that to make it 80 points. So.
Yeah. And that's why I'm curious to see if you get into a situation where once we get towards the end of this and the leader's just so far out that it's not, that it takes some of that drama out. I guess it's all going to depend who it is. If it's Chase Elliott that is so far out ahead, you know, it's not going to be a big deal. If it's Bubba Wallace that is way out ahead, it's going to be like this point system sucks. But I'm seeing differences in the racing that I think is good for TV, and I think it's just good for competition. And every move that I've seen seems to make sense. And I trust that NASCAR is trying to do the best that they can, but the stories continue to be good, and that's what they need, because they do need good things to happen.
Yeah, they need some good pub, and they're getting it.
Yeah, absolutely. The Gibbs thing. Gabe Hart, this, wow. I tell you, this is TMZ stuff, man. That you tell me NASCAR is not a legitimate major sport. We've got scandals too. We've got lawsuits. We've got private investigators. We've got all these different things happening, right? It's just not as profound. Our athletes aren't getting in trouble, thank goodness. That's what I hope does not happen. But we got some major shit happening, man. And this here, I mean, the Spire, I think right now is one of the great stories in NASCAR because they have had a great start, and
they're gonna win one.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. Again, this is just from the social media buzz that I look at, and I go and I read that, and I get sucked into that just like anybody else. I think people are looking at JGR a little different nowadays, to where it's like some of those Christian values and so forth.
It's interesting.
Yeah, I'll tell you, it depends who you ask. But the ever-changing world of NASCAR, and that's where, back to the whole thing.
Oh hell! This announced Carson Hocevar racing the truck race at Rockingham.
Oh, you see his throwback? He's got the old I think
Wrangler, Rod Osterlund.
Yeah, the 1981 car, 81. Yeah, is what that would have been. 81, I think that would have been. And
that black car Coda looked damn good.
Yeah, it did.
That black car Coda looked good.
And Hocevar, I mean, that's a guy right now where NASCAR needs to ride that guy. Don't do what you did with Ross Chastain. Don't get in there and squash. Don't get in there and squash the generator. Don't turn the generator off. I mean, I think if they'd have let Ross be Ross, you can blame it on Justin Marks, blame it on whoever you want to blame it on.
Blame that on Rick.
That dude
That's who you blame that on is Rick Hendrick.
Yeah. Yeah. Imagine that. Yeah. Just let these guys be themselves. That's what we're talking about. That's like what David Good was talking about. When you get to know these guys, when you feel like you know these guys, the more and more that, like, a couple of times that I've like had a conversation with Joey Logano and I listened to him and I see him. I mean, the hair. Logano wasn't one of my favorite drivers. I like that guy now. I really like that dude.
I had a quick conversation with Ryan Blaney off camera at Coda.
Yeah.
Just real quick. Wasn't trying to, but he was getting ready to leave. I just want him to say, hey, dude, as a fan, I really love your morning drive show. I said, it's great that you guys take time out of your day so the fans get a chance to see you guys not as up on a pedestal as you guys are. You know, they get to see you guys like kind of like we do. They get to see your human element. They don't get to just see the competitor element in you. He's like, oh, thanks. And I talked to him about his llama for a minute.
And that's where racing is so different, because before these races, I mean, especially like Daytona, you go back and you watch the Daytona pre-race show, these guys are about to dive in these race cars, the biggest race in their lives, biggest race of the season, race of their lives for a lot of these guys. I mean, think about Connor Zilic, and you're out there having a conversation with these people. That doesn't happen in the NFL. You can't go talk to Dak Prescott, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen. I mean, you can't do that. I mean, these dudes are secluded before an NBA game. You can't just roll up and talk to Wemby or any of these people. I mean, a baseball game.
NASCAR is the only sport that does that.
Yeah, that's the only one that does that. It's the only one that does that.
But they know that though. The drivers are used to that.
Yeah.
They may be annoyed by it, but they're used to it.
Hey, it's part of the job, man. It's part of the gig. You know, they pay them millions of dollars to go out there, and that's part of your job. I mean, that's what you do. And that's where we go back to with the local guys and ladies, to where it's like, go be that guy or lady. Go. I mean, go tell people who's helping you race. Go talk about your sponsors. I like what David talked about. I like that microphone or, interviews, play them over the PA. That's a really good idea. If I do this again at some point this year, I may go do that. I'd rather do that than go around and write sponsors down.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'll let them talk about the sponsors, because the sponsor sponsors them. They don't sponsor me. They don't want to hear me.
Yeah.
But anyway. All right, man. We're pushing 2 hours. Let's get out of here. You got a busy weekend coming up. Again, electrify everybody's mind about what's going on at Texana Raceway Park this weekend.
Yeah, doubleheader with Stems Friday night, Monday night for 2 separate shows. Stems will be 2 separate shows both nights. Texana class will be money only on Friday night, and a separate show on Saturday with double points for the Texana cars. And any car count for the big classes, Texana classes, that is, with 18 or more entries, will receive $1,000 to win, guaranteed.
Nice.
And they're one of the only shows in town because Corpus is practicing 105 is off. Cotton Bowl's practice stops at 6, and I-37's not running. So you talk about some heavy hitters coming into town. Going to be a hell of a show this weekend. I'm really looking forward to it.
I think so too. And Cotton Bowl Speedway, again, one of our affiliated tracks. They will fire off next Saturday. Perhaps next week we will have a preview of what's to come at CBS as we will continue our short track previews and recaps and so forth. Again, great asphalt action coming up at Pensacola, the Sunshine State 200 on Saturday. You've got the Legacies and other divisions happening tomorrow on Friday. You can catch that stuff on Racing America. Mobile International Speedway on Saturday. Pro Late Models, the Outlaws, the Trucks, the Sportsman, the Pure Stocks, the Crown Vics, and the Legacies. That's going to be on ultrabroadcasting.com. Be sure and check that out as well as your action from Vegas, as well as your action from Arlington, as well as your Supercross. We need to get a Supercross expert on here and talk Supercross up to this year too, because Supercross has been a lot of fun. Supercross has been a hell of a lot of fun. All right, friends, thank you for joining the program. Be sure and check out all the socials, like the Facebook page, like the Dirty Air Sports YouTube page as well. We're almost at 300. Last I looked, it was 296.
That's
so
good.
We just need a few more. Get us there, you guys. Big thanks to On Demand Shirts for being the apparel provider of the Revved Up Sports Show. Big thanks to Audio Visual Consultations as well. Bobby, have a great rest of the week, my man. We will do it again next week. Thanks to all of you. This has been #Real Race Talk from Texas. It is the Revved Up Sports Show. Be well, friends.